In the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro, flowers native to this region have developed a special, mutually beneficial relationship.
These bees are generalist foragers. They're able to access all kinds of shapes and sizes, flowers, and it's just absolutely unique in its own right. You don't taste honey like this anywhere else.
Tanzania's honeybees enjoy nearly 50 million hectares of diverse forests and woodlands to pollinate and propagate, providing honey and livelihoods for millions of hard-working beekeepers.
The stingless bee is good because it's medicinal.
Good.
Very good. Very sweet.
The connection between the bees and the plants is something beautiful.
What can these fascinating and vital creatures teach us about ecology? And what makes the honey here so unique? This is Tanzania's honey harvest. The craft of beekeeping faces a host of challenges. Pesticide, climate change, and deforestation all constitute a threat. In Tanzania, protecting bees means protecting the country's vast Miombo woodlands.
We're extremely high at the moment. We're almost at 2,000 meters above sea level on the western slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro, and we're bordering the Kilimanjaro National Park, so the forest is right on us, and these bees have access to those reserves, that flower diversity.
Warren works for an organization called Beetopia, a group of educators and honey farmers researching and conserving not just bees, but the practice of beekeeping itself. Here in the northern forests around Mount Meru and Mount Kilimanjaro, the indigenous bee populations still make hives and honey, but they've evolved one small difference. They're stingless.
In Tanzania, we have a number of different species of stingless bees. We have, I think, about as many as 12 different species. All of them have different behavioral patterns, live in different conditions. Some reside under the ground, others in trees, like these bees would have originally. And their honey is really where they set themselves apart from that of the honeybees. Is by far, for me, the best of all the honey.
Known for its complex flavors and unique healing properties, honey made by stingless bees has earned a reputation among connoisseurs. According to researchers, it contains strong antioxidants and has powerful antibacterial properties.
These bees have a lot of importance. Their honey is medicine. It can be used as a medicine because it helps with coughs, with healing wounds, things like that.
Barakael M Nkini has maintained his family's farmstead since childhood, and beekeeping has been a lifelong vocation, handed down from generation to generation. In 1993, his father gave him 3 hives. Now, he has almost 1,500. He's learned to increase honey production without harming the environment. He separates his bee colonies into 4 stations spread across his property, which prevents the bees from crowding the same area of woodland and competing for the same resources.
I mean, he's in a league of his own. I've never met anybody quite like him, just because of what he's done over the last 30 years in terms of stingless beekeeping in Tanzania.
In the hive, there is a division of labor. There is a queen, there are drones, the male bees, there are worker bees, there are guard bees. All of the bees have different tasks to accomplish. We can teach our kids in the same way. We can teach our families that everyone has responsibilities to fulfill in the household. None of the bees sleep. They make sure they do what they're supposed to do. This is what humans can learn from them.
Tanzania is one of Africa's top honey producers. And according to the Forest Services Agency, beekeeping employs about 2 million people across the country, generating more than $75 million each year from honey and beeswax sales.
Beekeeping has given me things. I've built a house because of beekeeping. I bought a car because of beekeeping. I can take my kids to school because of beekeeping.
For your everyday farmer, the market is really the challenge, because people are only interested in this honey for the medicine, and with that somewhat that understanding and knowledge being lost, there's less people sort of reaching out for stingless bee honey. This log hive goes back right to the beginning, really. You know, naturally speaking, the bees would be living in a tree cavity. Basically, in the log form, this is how it's traditionally done. You can see the honey is extremely liquid, so it has a moisture content of around 25%, which makes it flow rather easily. The bees will actually sort of repair things quite quickly and lick up all the spilt honey. You open this up in sort of 2 days' time and it's all back to sort of normal, just without the honey in the pots.
Traditional log hives are the preferred method for Tanzania's beekeepers, handed down through generations. With custodians like Barakael, the science and the art of beekeeping could enjoy a healthier future for generations to come.
These bees need to be protected, and the art of keeping stingless beekeeping needs to be preserved. Their role in our environment is instrumental.
Here, in the foothills of Mount Meru, in northeastern Tanzania, one honey farmer oversees a hive of activity.
So you want,
Yeah,
you want the queen here
Yeah.
and the honey here?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So the honey can be full on that area.
Uh-huh.
Elinuru Pallangio practices the craft of stingless beekeeping. In the same way that bees develop relationships with flowers, Mama Elinuru, as she's affectionately known, has herself developed a special kinship with these hard-working pollinators.
The stingless bee is good because it's medicinal. Take a small area. So like this area can take 30 logs.
As a female honey farmer in a male-dominated industry, she's created quite the buzz.
You see flower, and the root is medicine.
The Elinuru Foundation teaches entrepreneurship, nutrition, health, and environmental care. The team at Beetopia have come to make her acquaintance and gain what insights they can.
So we are here at the slopes of Mount Meru at the homestead of Mama Elinuru. And Mama Elinuru is a real hero. She grows all sorts of vegetables that are native to the area and integrates that with farming of bees. So that's she's a teacher, she's a wealth of knowledge, and we're very happy to make this connection today. Yeah.
Small bee can get.
Yes. So the honeybee cannot pollinate here.
Yeah,
She comes, but
but
then she
they-
goes quickly.
yeah.
And the smaller bees
They
can do it here.
yeah.
So we need all the bees.
You need all the bees, and we get something in all bees, but the small bee can get, even if the flower is very small, they can get what is in.
There.
Yeah. We have different type of crops which we plant, and all flowers have different color and taste. Even in my area, we have manuka tree, which is medicinal. So in my area, we get honey which is good, and it is medicinal also, although it tastes nicely. And like first I say, when someone see you, your things going well, they want to know why.
So Beetopia is still very young. We're in our first year, so to say, and build the connections. And for this, Remy is actually the main character who mostly reaches out to farmers and talks introduces Beetopia to them and offers a visit or offers that we can work together. And today it's just I have the luxury of being on board here with Remy and meet this fantastic woman as well.
What Mama does is really important because the community gets to learn a lot about healthy eating, but also she keeps bees, and these are the best pollinators we have in the land. The connection between the bees and the plants is something beautiful. We like to have women like this in the community. What I love most of all is seeing the bees. Secondly, what I love is people being able to learn and me being in the middle, trying to explain it to them.
There is connection about farming of green and the farming of bee. There are big connection. We need the bee, we need garden, because there are two things which are twins. Without bee, no farm. Without no seed, no fruits. Without bee, bee can die. So we need all things together.
Mama Elinuru and her fellow business-minded honey farmers have achieved a degree of financial self-reliance. The key, she says, is quantity, which means splitting the colonies and encouraging them to grow.
Today we are looking inside only, and to see if we can make two logs, two homes.
So the cool thing about coming here is now that we can tap into this wealth of knowledge of Mama Elinuru, what she has around why the honey is important, why bees are important, and that you find widespread on the slopes of Kili as well as Meru. But what you don't find so much is the knowledge around how to really grow sustainably with stingless bees. So what we did is look into the hive, we do look into the hives, look at the health of the colony and see what the state actually is and what could be the next steps. Is it harvesting or is it splitting, and advice on that. So you see the different colors of pollen deriving just from different resources, and they are close to the nest where it is needed, because the pollen is the protein resource. It's a lot of honey actually.
We say it's sour or it's sweet?
It's both.
By moving the queen into a new log, Remy and Mama Elinuru hope to colonize a new hive. Separating the queen from her brood may sound counterintuitive, but it's a method these beekeepers have been practicing for centuries.
We can cut and get two logs of bee. So we are getting more. By one log, you can prune and get another. So if you have one, after a year or 2 years, you get another. So you get 3. Children can learn, grandchildren they can learn. Other people from far come and learn, because when they know and they see how smart you are as a woman, they like also to know why you are like that. Is your man do for you, or yourself you're trying to do something?
If building community and empowering others while making medicine weren't enough to keep Mama Elinuru occupied, she's made it her mission to pass the knowledge on. And what's more, the honey is sustainable, eco-friendly, and delicious.
When we are together, women together, we can do something which is huge.
Very good. Very sweet.
In Tanzania's Arusha region, farmers here have an unlikely nemesis. The forests encircling the Ngorongoro Crater, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are home to around 1,000 African elephants. Night after night, if left unchecked, these gentle giants will trample their way through crops and farmers' livelihoods.
Before he couldn't even plant some tomato. You have seen some tomato very close to the fence. But before that, he couldn't dare to plant tomato because the elephant will be coming from everywhere.
In 2018, a network of beekeepers, known as bee guardians, started work on a fence to create an elephant corridor, a fence punctuated by beehives. A simple yet ingenious solution to a costly problem. The beehive fence safely guides elephants away.
On this part of Upper Kitete, the fence length is 4.1 kilometers with 171 beehives. Each farmer owns a beehive which is on the stretch of their farms. And we have some assistance from the farm guards and the bee guardians who make sure that every day they patrol along the fence, and if there are any challenges, they try to fix it.
I'd love if it's possible for the fence to go all the way around the village. As farmers, we're benefiting from increased productivity. Plus, also the bees mostly help by pollinating the crops.
Since the fence was completed in 2020, according to wild survivors, elephant crop rates have reduced by 92%.
Elephants are huge and the bees are tiny insects, but elephants fear bees. Why do they fear bees? It's because when elephants approach a beehive and bees are provoked, they will come and go to the thinnest part of their skin, like on the ears and on the eyes. So once they are stinged, they will run away.
The bee guardians operate year-round to maintain the fence and its hives, proving that working with nature, rather than against it, can yield mesmerizing results.
The beehive fence has helped bring women together. Now they have a hub where they can meet and discuss how to help each other. Through that, they get income. They've also introduced a permaculture garden where they can go and improve the nutritional health of their families.
Whether it's bees, flowers, or elephants, honey farmers seek meaningful coexistence with nature. Here, under the wing of Mama Elinuru and the conservationists of Beetopia, a group has gathered at a community seed bank.
In this women group, they prepare this seed for the future of our children's life. This is more than money bank. Here, the seed is more than bank of money, because if you lose seed, where can you get money? This is good. Now this is second, but this is number one.
Number one.
That's good for control pressure, diabetes.
One of the things I like about the area, and one of the things I've learned, is that most people think it's just about the beehives, but here it's also about the cages and placing the beehives inside. Instead of hanging them on the tree, they build a stand for them.
I love beekeeping. It's an important part of my life and my family. First, it brings economic value in selling the honey. Second, bees help in pollination. And third, the honey we harvest is nutritional and good for health, not only for me, but for my family too.
It makes me happy to know that more people are now able to engage with beekeeping and leave behind their old beliefs that it's not possible. It's motivating.
So it's been a very great day coming here to see all these women working so closely together and combining different aspects of agriculture, actually integrating beekeeping into their, what we nowadays call regenerative farming or agroforestry, but it's actually so deeply embedded in the Wachaga and Meru culture, so that they just follow the old practices and traditions, and it works so well to grow healthy and good vegetables, good food that is like in synergy with bees and the health of the environment. So it's just absolutely fascinating to see these brilliant role models.
So we have the farming and the gardening, and we have the beekeepers. So we create one family, since all the environment depends on each other, but mostly for the bees. And here we are as a family.
Welcome to Beetopia. Daniel, Mama, thank you very much for coming today for the first time. We're very happy for you to be here. So, Kathrin, take us away.
Okay, so different bees use different materials.
Yeah.
So bees don't only need pollen and nectar, don't only need flowers, but they also need a home.
Yes.
And very often in places we don't have homes for bees. So what one can do to help them is build a bee hotel. Warren likes to call this a pollinator bank.
Yeah, because all of these bees give a service to the environment. They go out and they pollinate flowers. So our message that we tell our guests here at Beetopia, you can do these at home. You can make your own bee hotels at home. It's very easy. Cut some pieces of mianzi or drill into some dry wood, and you're just creating a home for these solitary bees.
You could tell with the amazement in her eyes. She's an enthusiastic by nature, and she immediately also fell in love, as I did, with the place. It's beautiful, but the most important thing is seeing her, knowing her for a long time, knowing what she knows, and still being amazed to learn new stuffs every now and then. So the relationship here is beautiful because it opens up new gates to her. With all the knowledge and all the respect people have for her, she still learns. And if she can, then anybody else can. So I love that.
Very sweet. I'm happy that we are joined together with our friends which come from far to join together with other groups of women to be together and to understanding more about bee pollination, also seed. There are connections about all that things. Without bee, all type of bee, no production of food, no production of our tree, old tree, traditional tree. So there is something which we need for education.
I'd be happy if other people got involved in beekeeping. Bees provide a service to the environment. They pollinate, they produce honey.
We need more power, more knowledge to educate all people now to know about bee. The bee is everything. And when we are together, we can do something good.
Supporting these industrious insects, Tanzanian beekeepers have honed their craft from generation to generation. Guardians, conservationists, trailblazers. Beekeeping is not only an occupation, but a lifeline for cultivating a sweeter, healthier, more sustainable future.